Ja. 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 Ja.
the sun sets out across the skies, he loses his way to the fort he flies. Kuttenberg is far, far away.
A good day to you. What do you need? Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
I'd like to Are we agreed?
Well, that sounds... Seen her.
They say you're the best blacksmith in the whole region. That metal you've tempered never breaks.
Ah, nothing but old wives' tales. Of course some of my pieces have broken, but only ever here, at the smithy.
No one's ever returned anything for you to rework, though, have they?
Not that I recall, but I can't remember everything.
So that's why I'm curious just how you go about it.
Look, I learnt it from my father. May he rest in peace.
So it's a family formula.
Actually, yes, it is.
Father was a blacksmith all my life. He always stoked up the furnace till it roared gently, and you could smell the heated iron. Then he plunged it into the water, and that was that.
What gently humming furnace are you on about? Have you ever actually been near one? You'd end up drenched with sweat the whole time, not just while you were tempering. Don't try and tell me you've ever even been in a smithy.
I'd like to ask you about the tempering process.
And I'd say I've nothing much to tell you. You just need an eye for it and a furnace.
Let's stop talking about tempering. I've heard it said that you're a warlock.
What? Why the fuck would they say that?
They say when you temper steel, you chant spells, and then nothing of yours ever breaks.
Spells? That's a good one. It's no spell, just a rhyme to time myself so I don't hold the steel there too long. Farewell.
I'd like to ask you
And I'd say I've nothing much to tell you.
Let's stop talking about temp.
Good luck to you.
God be with you. Do you need anything?
Why is the blacksmith muttering nonsense to himself? Has he been in the sun too long?
Oh, that's nothing. Just a silly little rhyme for his work, to time it right.
Oh, I see. I thought he was delirious.
No, he's like that all the time.
Do you know how the blacksmith does his tempering?
You'll have to ask him yourself. I help him out here and there, but I could never do his work for him.
Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
I've heard the local blacksmith is a warlock.
What utter rubbish!
They say he mutters spells while he's tempering to strengthen the steel.
Those aren't spells, just regular old nonsense. Honestly, what will people come up with to slander a man next? Goodbye. May the Lord watch over you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Any chance of some work?
Well, come to think, there is one rather delicate matter to attend to. A while ago, a holy man came by here. He said he'd come from the Holy Land, and he was selling various relics he'd collected on his travels to pay his way.
I see.
Well, I heard he had some fragments of a sacred sword that once belonged to the fabled Czech Queen of Sheba. But by the time he reached me, he had no pieces left of the sword. All he had was some dubious wares, splinters from our Lord's cross, thorns from the crown, nothing of interest to me.
And where did the pieces of the sword go?
He sold them off to swordsmiths and blacksmiths hereabouts. They just keep them lying around at home for good luck. If I had them, I'd forge them back into a sword. Can you even imagine what power it would command? If you could get me all the pieces of the sword, I'd repay you very handsomely.
Are you sure the Queen of Sheba's a Czech queen?
Who else would she be? Have you not heard of her? Our some priest. She's in the Bible.
Uh-huh. Isn't it a bit strange that some pilgrim...
Are you suggesting you might have been lying? Well, people aren't to be trusted, but this is nothing to joke.
What kind of power did this sword have?
What do you think? It brought its bearer good luck in combat, and...
Where can I find the powers?
Like I said, the smith hereabouts bought them from him. They say the largest piece is with the rat-eyed swordsmith. The bastard probably won't want to sell, but...
I could do with a sword like that. What if you sold...
Well, everything has its price, but this one would be expensive. Getting hold of the bits is one thing. Forging...
Well, it does sound very interesting.
Excellent. God be with you. May the Lord watch over you.
Good afternoon.
Father, when do you plan to return to St. James?
I beg your pardon. Why do you ask, my boy?
Your housekeeper, Agnes, is in Rattay and doesn't want to work for anyone else. She's waiting for your return.
So she survived. Thank the Lord. I prayed for her and all who suffered, but I'm not going back. Tell her I appreciate her concern, but to look out for herself now.
May the Lord watch over you.
Father, I need your help urgently.
You? I recognize you. You're the Skalitz blacksmith's son.
Yes, that I am.
I'm sorry. What did you want?
It may sound strange, but I need you to go back to St. James. The locals need their spiritual shepherd.
No, certainly not, my boy. That's one place I shan't be going back to.
How did you manage to get out of Skalitz?
I didn't. I wasn't there during the raid. I was here at Sasau for confession.
And why aren't you with our folks at Rattay? What if Sir Radzig has need of you?
Look, here I'm an honored guest and well cared for. In Rattay, there's hardly room enough for the refugees already there. And what's more, the parish priest doesn't like me, which happens to be mutual. The last thing I want to be doing is haggling with him over where I can sleep or how many slices of bread I'm allowed to eat.
He certainly isn't known for being generous. Why? It is your parish, after all.
A parish that's little but a ruin these days. And besides, God forgive me, but I'm afraid. All kinds of ruffians are on the rampage around Skalitz.
It isn't completely safe, but most of them are gone.
As my father used to say, why take the risk?
Don't you feel any shame? Think of all those Christians who faced death and never betrayed their faith.
That's something else entirely.
No, it's not. They weren't afraid to face death, and you're squirming at the thought of some slight danger.
Haven't you seen how they ransacked the place? Does that seem slight to you? Well, not to me.
The Cumans are gone, but the townsfolk won't come back. And why should they, when the man who ought to set an example, the one they look up to, is shitting himself?
I am ashamed. More than you can imagine, but not quite enough to get myself killed for it. I'm a man of the cloth, not a man at arms. So I shall politely decline your offer.
Do tell me, Father, why don't you like the Rattay priest exactly?
Have you never met him? Now, there's a man without any fellow feeling or morals. When he sits in judgment, he's needlessly cruel. Yet when he's censored, he whines and complains. He thinks only of himself and his own desires.
You're right. He really is like that. But how can you criticize him when you're turning your back on your calling out of fear?
That's not the same thing at all.
Isn't it? Maybe not to you or him, but the people won't see it that way. You've both failed your flocks.
You can't possibly mean that. I'm nothing like that ignoramus.
It comes down to the same thing in the end. Having a scoundrel for a priest or having nobody at all. You have a calling, so follow it.
I don't know who you think you are to sit in judgment on me, but I've no desire to get killed. When Sir Radzig returns to Skalitz, that's when I shall too, and not a day before.
As you wish. What if they increased your income? Would that convince you?
My boy. I get tithes from the parishioners, and since my flock amounts to a flock of ravens these days, it won't come to much.
I know. That's why I've arranged a small collection for you, so you'll have something to live on before the parishioners return.
So that's what you're about. And how much have you put together?
Since it's you.
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
All right. And now?
Come now. Just a little more and we have a deal.
Well and good, then. Well and good. That's most satisfactory. And where will I live? My house in Skalitz must surely be in ruins.
You can live right there at St. James. I'm sure the locals will be grateful enough to give you a roof over your head.
Well, it's true they've treated me kindly, and I do owe them. Very well. I will go back.
Thank you. The people from St. James will never forget this.
Farewell.
Hey, what are you doing here? Clear off quick. Well then. Is there something you need? Come now.
Mandrake roots taken straight from the gallows at midnight. Me, Mom. Problems with stomachers again. Buy my coach made from nasty words plucked from the flanks of come and get it, finally. Buy my coach made from
God be with you.
God be with you. Good luck to you.
Come right up. It's the feast for your eyes and your stomach. It's hard to resist. You'll not find better meat anywhere.
What was that noise?
Hey! Stop that! Christ, a thief!
Stop! That's not yours!
Watch out! A thief! Down!
Help!
Help!
A
Arrest that thief!
You! Stop right where you are!
You committed a violation. You are under arrest.
No need to be shy.
You were seen in the act. You should have thought twice about what you're doing. Try your fairy tales.
Put a smile on
Rabbit
your
paws
face.
of all colors, shapes, and sizes.
All right, here you are.
Make
You've paid for your crime. Give me back the...
from the woods or
Help!
from the pen.
Arrest that thief!
Salt sprinkled with the bloody tears
Vegetables,
of Saint
fruit,
Jane
apples,
Madonna.
cucumbers, onions.
Good day to you.
Is there anything interesting?
Well, there's two good-for-nothings from Scarlets who are a thorn in my side. It's one thing sympathizing with them after what happened, but it's another when they get mixed up in all kinds of mischief. I'll catch them red-handed sooner or later. When I do, they'll be sorry they crossed me.
Is there anything interesting?
It's so peaceful. Take care now.
Good day to you.
Good day to you. Take care.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
Good luck to you. Farewell. Potom půjdem na pána. Pijme chlapci, dobré víno.
Good God. Goodbye.
if your husband
Hey,
is murdered,
in the temple.
Oh, that grows in the ground, fresh.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Are you in need of a helping hand, Master Butcher?
Helping hand? No. But I've got a problem with supplies.
I understand. The roads aren't safe these days.
No, that's not what I meant. Beef and pork I can get plenty of. But the burgers here have a taste for aristocratic food. And maybe you can help me with that.
You want me to poach game?
Heaven forbid I would ever suggest such a thing. No. You would have to get it by, other means.
I don't want to spoil your plans, but game doesn't grow on trees.
No, but if you happen to be walking in the woods and, came across something, if you see what I mean.
All right. Let's say I'll take a walk in...
Excellent. I'm glad to... Get me a wild boar for now, so I can see what you can do. And don't worry, you'll be well rewarded. Good luck to you.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to...
So what are you interested in?
get myself fixed up.
But of course.
I'm not giving you that much.
And how much are you willing?
What do you say?
That's...
Is this enough?
Come now. You won't regret spending the Lord. Take care.
Isn't that...
What? Shit! Henry!
Henry! Here!
Where's he going?
Is he ignoring us? Henry! Here!
Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive!
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rat-Eye that I got back in my right mind.
And I see you're not doing too badly for yourself. What are you up to?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
No one's interested in two good carpenters in Sasau.
No one.
And we looked everywhere.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa, but who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa. She hauled me unconscious to the mill in Rat-Eye and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
I'll be with you. Greetings, Henry. See you later. Good health to you.
Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Well, it depends what you're willing to do. There was one troublemaker around here not long ago, but we dealt with him. He was selling some relics he claimed were miraculous, but it was nothing but worthless trinkets. The villagers sent the bloody swindler packing so fast you couldn't see his heels for dust. All the way to the Dechko, I believe. I reckon he won't last long there either. And there's another thing. Of course, it's your own skelet's fault you need the most of. There's some of them at the monastery. I talked to Johanka a few times, and she's working her fingers to the bone, taking care of the injured ones there. I'm sure she'd welcome some good Samaritan who would lighten her load. That's all I can think of.
Are there any problems around here?
Nothing I've heard about.
Is there somewhere I could...
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one.
No problem.
There you are.
You'll like it here. Farewell.
For a job?
Good day to you. What do you need?
Do you want something?
I do. And you look like the kind of fellow who knows a thing or two and wouldn't mind a bit of work that's not entirely...
What's it about?
I'm looking for someone who knows how to dip her pockets.
Well, then it's lucky for you that I...
There's a farmer who lives in the craftsman's yard. He made a killing supplying vegetables to the monastery. I worked for him for a while, but then he threw me out without even paying me for my labour. I'd like you to steal the groschen he owes me. And also a pouch containing an amulet he got from the herb woman.
Sounds easy enough.
It ain't quite that easy, otherwise I'd handle it myself. That fucker don't trust no one, and he's always looking over his shoulder. If you manage to nick...
May the Lord watch over you.
I'll be with you.
I'm looking for the master engraver. Do you know where I can find him?
He's probably in his workshop in the monastery courtyard. Take care now.
My respects to you. God be with you.
Jesus Christ be praised. Take care now. Good luck to you.
Good day to you.
The swordsmith from the town said he was after the pieces of a sword from some Queen of Sheba.
I know he's after those, but he's out of luck. He should have bought it while he had the chance.
Not even...
Not even... Take care now.
Good day to you.
Is there any work here?
Are they locals?
From Skalitz.
Then no. I only take in...
I'm looking for the master engraver. Do you know where I can find him?
He's probably in his workshop in the monastery court. Take care now.
Do you know where I can find...
Oh, yes. Good luck to you.
I've been sent here from Talmberg. I'm to speak with the one responsible for construction.
That'd be the master builder. Or with our brother, the overseer. What matter is it you're here about?
It has to do with the stone for construction.
Ah, then that's a matter of supply. You'll want to talk to the overseer. He knows more about that sort of thing. His study's right above us, more or less. Go up the steps to the left and then head back in this direction, almost the whole way.
Can I take a look inside the monastery?
What's got into you, boy? The grounds inside the monastery belong to the monks of the Order of Saint Benedict. No. God be with you. You've got no business here. You're just in the way.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rattay unconscious, and I needed a healer. How's everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
That actually happened to me once. Fritz pissed on the burn and it was right as rain the next day.
I see. Well, better talk to Brother Nicodemus before trying that treatment here.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe. But convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week, Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power.